All right, guys. So I stumbled across this super cringe activist teacher, who brands herself as an anti-racist teacher, right? An ally, okay? And she has her pronouns in the bio as well. She calls herself Miss Mangu, okay? And she just kind of demonstrates that we have activist school teachers in our public school systems that are pushing woke political ideology on kids. Okay, we just do. And this is why when people say stuff like critical race theory is not being taught in schools, I just have to laugh at these people because they're being disingenuous. Okay, they're acting like the elements of critical race theory are not seeping into our school systems. That these people who subscribe to some of the content and things related to critical race theory are not in our schools. They are, okay? Because a lot of these teachers went to these woke liberal colleges. They've been exposed to a lot of this stuff, and they're out here pushing their political agenda on kids. And this might be the clearest example that I have seen in a long time of this. Okay, as I will go ahead and roll the clip and let you guys see for yourself just how woke this teacher is. Take a look.
Today is the first time our country has recognized Juneteenth as a national holiday, and yet I'm getting ready to go back to school in the fall, and my governor has put into place some ridiculous legislation that many governors across the country have put into place, such as I can't teach anything divisive, I can't teach critical race theory, and I can't teach about racial equity. This is at all public schools, colleges, and universities. So, teachers, in the past, we've been activists. After the show of last year, we really need to stand up and do what's right for our kids right now. So this is a call to action, teachers. We got to stand up and fight for our kids because this is bull.
All right, guys. So this teacher is upset about critical race theory being banned in school. Okay, as if she can't teach history or whatever subject she teach. I don't really know what subject she teach. I just know she can teach whatever subject she teaches without having to incorporate her own political agenda. I do know that. Okay, and that's what bothers me about a lot of these people that want to get so mad about Republican governors banning critical race theory in schools. Okay, you guys are the ones that saying it's not being taught. So is it not being taught in the schools? Then why are you mad about it? Why are you upset? What's actually being banned? If it's not taught in schools, then obviously they're not banning anything. So what should you be mad about? I've never seen so much outrage for something that they swear up and down is not happening in schools. I don't understand. And, you know, again, this teacher right here, right, she's mad because her interpretation of the ban is in direct contradiction to what she teaches and pushes in the classroom. Oh my God, I can't teach divisiveness and racial equity and social justice in my classroom. I'm so upset. She thinks that her political agenda is under attack. And I'm going to tell you why, guys, because all you got to do is take a look at a video of her showing off what's in her classroom to know why she's afraid of what these Republican governors are doing. Take a look.
Back in my classroom for the first time in a year, y'all. Look at my room. It's so lovely. I love it. They took good care of it. Hold on. God, they've taken such great care of my room. Somebody else was in here while I was virtual. This is a wall of, like, tell a story from these pictures. My students with their I am more than. I love these signs. Students against the camps. Look at this, you guys. I can't wait to be back with them in person soon.
Guys, look at that classroom. She has a pride flag. She has BLM flags. She has all type of woke propaganda and political messaging in her classroom, guys. This is in public schools. Public schools. How? I mean, I don't understand how these teachers can get away with this. I don't understand. And this is why she's so concerned. Because she's afraid that Republicans are going to come out the woke ideology that she's teaching. Because she's obviously teaching it. Obviously. Again, guys, I'm pro freedom of speech. But at the same time, I do recognize that the government has to be neutral on certain things. Okay? They have to be neutral on political movements. They have to be neutral on a lot of things in our society because everybody doesn't subscribe to that, right? That's just what it is. I want the public school systems to be neutral on political ideologies. BLM and the pride flag, that's not neutrality. This is a government official endorsing political movements, political speech. But see, if a student wore a Trump hat or bought a Trump flag to school, they would be going crazy. They'd be going nuts. And guys, we've seen that, right? Guys, how many videos and news stories have you guys seen about students getting kicked out of class, right? Online class, or teachers refusing to teach students because they wore some Trump paraphernalia. We see it all the time. But for whatever reason, that's not acceptable. But this is. That's acceptable. That's acceptable. I don't understand. Like, I don't get how people can logically square this stuff. If you're against political messaging, you have to acknowledge that you should be against all political messaging. That means everything. That means any right-wing movement, any left-wing movement, none of that stuff should be in schools. You know? I don't care about a teacher having their own political opinions outside of work. That's fine. You know, if you want to be an activist outside of work, knock yourself out. Do that. But when you're in school, there's a certain amount of professionalism that you have to have. You have to keep that to yourself. Because you are pushing a political agenda. These groups that you're supporting are political. Yes, you might think that you're fighting for social justice or race justice or whatever. But BLM is a political movement, right? It is. So when you have a BLM flag, that means you're overtly supporting a political movement. Again, which would not be okay if it was a Trump flag, okay? Or some flag associated with some right-wing movement. And this is why, you know, again, I understand why these parents are so upset and they're coming out against the school boards, because the liberals swear up and down again that it's not being taught in schools, but you're seeing it. You're seeing that this is the type of propaganda that's being pushed on kids. No wonder surveys are coming out and so many young kids are endorsing socialism, right? Getting on board with Marxism and communism because they're being taught that's good in school, right? So they're learning it in public school. They're learning it in college. That's why we have so many young people that are just too far gone on the woke ideology because of teachers like this. And this is why I think, you know, for as much as people want to scrutinize cops, we got to start scrutinizing these teachers more, right? If cops are wearing body cameras, I mean, at this point, why not put cameras inside the classroom? Because I would love to know what this teacher is teaching our children, right? What is she saying, right? I can imagine. I mean, I was just looking on her TikTok and she has a whole bunch of anti-white this, anti-white that. You know, white people so bad. White people need to understand this. They understand that. I can only imagine these are the same exact things that she's saying in her classroom. She got the symbolism. The symbolism is there. So she's probably teaching the same exact stuff. But they try to pretend that, well, you know, the GOP, they're hindering them from doing their jobs. No, your job is not to be a political activist. Your job is to teach reading, math, science, things that are not political, right? You can teach about politics, okay? You can teach about the political system, the political spectrum, but you can't be overtly political like this. I don't understand how this allows. I don't understand how the principal of whatever school she teaches at allows this. I don't get it. And this, again, this is the problem. This is why parents are fighting back. This is why parents are making their voices heard, because these type of teachers have infested the public school system. They really have. This is probably the most overt example of just woke activism in schools I've ever seen in my life. And it was just so cringe to watch. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.